Hi, how are you? Welcome. Happy Sunday. Thanks for joining me. I do appreciate you. Let's see if we can get a keyword set up and get moving. So I have this super cute little scarecrow. Okay. He's a door hanger, and we are going to put him together today. I am using, where am I? The four textures patterns. Okay, so this is the herringbone, I think, and then there's some other ones. This one's kind of an Aztec type, and then there's like a textile one and a little dot one. Okay, so today we're going to use the herringbone. Let me just chuck that over there really quick, and let's see where I am. Okay. Oh gosh. All right, keyword is scarecrow, by the way. Okay, so here's our scarecrow. I went ahead and I painted him already with this French linen home decor chalk paint. And I'm gonna just set him aside. Okay, so that's the first layer. Let me go ahead and do his hat really quick. And then we can, where am I? Okay, so I wanna use this blue for his hat. It's like a really, really dark blue. So that is the color blue. It's called Nautical. Let's see if I have a clean paintbrush over here. Look at that, I do. Hi, Joni. What number? Not sure what you mean, Patsy. The keyword today is scarecrow. You can type that in the comments and get the link to get this guy on sale, along with the transfer I'm using and a jar of paste. Okay, all on sale. Or you can buy them individually, however you like to do that. You tell me. So this is Nautical. Again, the folk art home decor chalk paint. Love it. It's a great matte paint. It is acrylic paint. Really, really nice coverage. And I don't think I'll have to go over this more than once, hopefully. All right. So, see if I can not make a mess on my underneath this today. It is kind of just a little bit too big for my cardboard, but that's okay. We will make it work. So I hope you're having a great Sunday. I was not feeling well last night. I don't know what was wrong with me, but I was just feeling horrible. So I did not do my live last night. So I thought I would come on here and do the live that I was planning on doing last night and show you guys. I could not go another day without showing you the scarecrow because I just love him so much. Hi, Stacy. How are you? Welcome. All right, so this scarecrow is about 14 inches. I do have bigger ones available, or wait a minute. This may not be the 14-inch one. This one's the 10-inch one, sorry. I have bigger ones on my Etsy, okay? Whenever you comment the keyword, you'll get the link for my Etsy if you want to go check them out there. Now, this is his hair down here. I'm going to go ahead and paint it blue. Oh, God. I just screwed up. Y'all, I'm messing things up already. Look at that, okay? I'm totally jacking my whole life up here. We're gonna have to fix it, okay? His hair is not supposed to be blue. This is the top layer, my gosh. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry. And then we'll come back and we will repair his hair because I don't know what I'm doing, okay? Oh God, look at that too. Every time I paint with blue, I get it on me somehow, okay? I don't know what happened. Look, you gotta pay attention, okay? Number one, don't get paint all over you. Number two, don't paint the hair blue, all right? Well, thank you for joining me, Stacy. I am apparently a nightmare today. Living in my own nightmare, actually. Painting things the wrong color. Generally just messing things up. So we're going to get past this together. I'm going to use a little color tray. This is just some like kind of a darker orange paint that I bought it on Amazon. I'm gonna use a little makeup sponge to do these flowers. So I'm gonna do this, the back piece of the flower, a little bit darker yellow. And hopefully I'm gonna have to figure out something for that hair. Oh my gosh, I don't know what's wrong with me. And of course I don't have a second cutout that I can quickly just use to start over. So, you know, I don't know what I was thinking. Well, I had just painted the background, so that must be what my problem was. That I was thinking I was painting the background piece, so I don't know. It's fine. We'll make it through this. All right, so I have this other yellow. It's a very bright yellow. It's called Blazing Yellow. I haven't used this one yet. But again, the home decor. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you so much for the confidence. I'm glad you have that much confidence in me. I'm not feeling it myself. But so this is kind of like a real bright, almost, it's nearly a pastel yellow. Okay, so I'm gonna do this top layer of the sunflower with this lighter yellow, and I think it'll be a nice little contrast because this flower is layered, okay, as you can see. So I'm just gonna paint that, and the inside part has a, like the seed thing for the sunflower or whatever. It comes with this, okay, but it has holes in it. So I'm going to attempt to, I'm not gonna paint the center yellow, okay? I'm gonna paint it black probably. So, or I wonder if I have a brown available. Let's see, close by. We can do it this brown color, and I think that'll make it a nice contrast to the black, maybe. You may not be able to see it, but you know, it's worth a shot, right? Okay. So we'll do that brown in the center, and then the black on the actual top seed part, okay? Hi, Joanne. Yeah, well, we're gonna try and fix it together because not 100% how I'll fix it. I mean, that is a very dark blue, but we'll get there. I think maybe we could go white over it and then try the yellow. I don't know. We'll see. Okay. All right. Now, one more time with this darker yellow on the bottom layer just to get a good, nice full coverage. This paint that I'm using, this little acrylic paint, is some off-brand, it's called Hissico, I don't know, that I got on Amazon with a, I bought the paints, but it came with this awesome paintbrush set. The paint's not bad, but it's just not as thick as this home decor chalk paint. It still has a matte finish. It still ends up looking really nice. Okay, oops. It's just not quite as thick as the chalk paint. Hi, Karen. Hi, Mom. How are you? All right, so let's see. Now, for his buttons over here, again, I'm going to use this. This is Bella acrylic paint. I don't know. I had it in my thing. Probably had it for about 1,000,000 years. And we're going to give it a try. I don't know. It'll probably be good. The other things that I painted with this paint, this brand of paint, have not been bad. Ooh, I like that. That is a bold red. And I'm here for it. I like it. Okay. So there's his red buttons. Okay. And then we might come back and do one more layer in a minute whenever that's dry. I'm making a mess again. All right, so now on to, let me see if I have a small-ish brush that we can do the center part of the sunflower with real quick. So just this brown, this is that brown that smells weird. I'm gonna try and do the majority of this inner circle, okay? It doesn't have a whole lot of holes close to the edges, but I don't want to go over because I don't want to mess up my yellow that I just painted. So I'm going to try my best to not mess up my yellow. Okay. These are those really good brushes that came with that cheapo paint, which the brushes were worth the paint, the cost of the whole thing, because I can never find decent brushes. Hi, Evelyn, how are you? Okay, so there's my little sunflower inside, the backer of the sunflower, my little buttons, and then I have this little bird here, okay? And I didn't particularly want to just paint him black, but here's what I'm thinking, because he has a little wing that goes on him. So I was thinking that I could do the wing just a slightly lighter. I'm gonna do the bird black, okay? Paint the bird black, and then I will make a slightly lighter gray, do a slightly lighter gray for the wing, just so that it's a little bit of a contrast, so that you can see his wing, okay? So we're gonna do black. Kind of struggled with this one because that wing is a layer on him. I didn't want to completely just not have it show up whenever you paint it the same color, right? So y'all might have better ideas, but that was my idea for this one. And then of course the little seed pod thing for the sunflower, whatever this flower is gonna be solid black, and I did the background of the seed pod brown. Maybe a little contrast there too. Hi Paula, how are you? Hey Rainy, welcome. All right, now let's see where we are. Okay, my gray for my little wing. This is the gray that I was thinking. This is Maui Sand. It's kind of it's a nice gray. Let's see if we can, I don't know why I keep these brushes that I hate that are over here. I always pick them up and then I don't want to use them. They're not really good for anything. They shed, but these other brushes, I just love them. They work really well. This one's a little long for this, but they're good brushes. They are on my Amazon list. Whenever you comment the keyword, you'll get a link to my Amazon if you want to go check them out. And the great thing, I didn't even realize so that's my little wing right there, okay, right here. It's gonna go on this bird, okay? I didn't realize that it even came with brushes, and whenever I get brushes that are even surprise brushes, I'm always excited because always looking for good ones. Okay, so I did miss this. The whole blue incident a minute ago just really, I think I might be scarred from that. But we have his hat brim. It does need to be painted blue. So we are gonna have to fix that though. His hair, my gosh. Okay. Great thing about these sponges is that you don't have to just dab. You can actually spread paint pretty well with them. Just like that. Now, I don't like painting a huge surface with these because they shed a little bit on big surfaces, which I found that if I just take a sanding block and just lightly sand with like a 220 grit sanding block, that will clean it up pretty well. Okay, and then last thing that we have is his little nose down here and the welcome that goes on his hat. And you know, I'm thinking I actually might want to do his nose red. Is that weird? I think I'm going to do it red. Hopefully that's not weird. And then let me hit up these little buttons one last time. I have quite a lot of paint on that. Let me see if I can get in this little hole. I've just like smudged a little too much paint in there. Clean those little buttonholes out with a Q-tip. All right, so his nose is good. And then I'm thinking the welcome, because it's going to be on the dark blue background, I was thinking that I could do that with just a bright white, okay? So let me grab this. Hi, Lori, how are you? Good morning. Thanks for joining me. Glad to have you all here today. You can comment the word Scarecrow to get this little cutie. All right, so I am probably gonna have to do a couple of layers of white on this one just to get really good coverage. So I'm doing a very light layer right at first, okay? And then I can come back and kind of build it up. I just don't want a bunch of paint on the edges of my letters, okay? These are real thin. I'm doing well. Trying to be productive today. I'm leaving to go to St. Louis in the morning for a big meeting at work. And so I've got to get all my stuff together today. I've got to get all my laundry washed and folded and some of it put into my bag. I have some cutouts to do this morning. I posted new stuff on my Etsy. If you have not checked out my Etsy yet, really highly encourage you to go over there and check it out because there's so much stuff on there that I've added lately. All right, so that's all my cutouts. I'm going to wait on that white, and then here's my mess that we have to figure out together, okay? Now, I'm thinking what I could do is not that bright white, but this like tannish gray color might work okay to cover up this blue. Now, I'm probably gonna have to do this a couple of times. Y'all, I don't know what I was thinking, okay? If you didn't watch the first part of this, good. Don't go back. It's just not worth seeing me like realize that I screwed up. All right. So I do need to lighten this up quite a lot before my yellow is going to even have a part of a chance, okay, to show through. Now, I think we'll be okay. Luckily, I didn't get too far over here. Isn't it great? I'm so happy with it. It's really exciting. I look at my stats pretty much every day. Like, it's pretty cool watching it grow, watching people go there. So whenever you comment the keyword, you will get the link to my Etsy as well. You're welcome to go on there and have a look around. I've got tons of stuff. I have chalk cutouts on there too. And all kinds of seasonal ones. And if there's something that you don't see there that you would have expected or that you'd like to see, just send me a message and I will add it. Always looking for suggestions for new stuff. All right. Just trying to build up this. I think we're going to be okay covering this blue, but I'm going to have to get this to dry and then build up more layers on it so that I can have yellow hair on my Scarecrow and not blue hair. He is not a teenager. He is a full-grown adult Scarecrow man. And I don't think he would appreciate having blue hair. But who knows? He might like it. I don't know. All right. Let's see if we can do a little more of this gray, and then my yellow will be just fine on this background. And I think that will work just fine. All right. So yeah, sorry I wasn't here last night. I don't know what was up with me. I was so tired all day yesterday. I went and got my hair cut. I took Dozer to the groomer in the morning, and then I went and got my hair cut. And I was exhausted. On the way home, I was just like, I need a nap desperately. And so I lay down and tried to take a nap, and I just could not take a decent nap. It was horrible. I could not fall asleep for anything. And so I just kept trying and kept trying. And we did eat dinner later in the evening, but I don't know, I just was not feeling good at all. And then I finally was able to sleep at around like, I guess 5 o'clock or so. And I set my alarm for me to wake up for my live, to do my live. And when I woke up, I was just like, oh no, this is not gonna be a thing that I can do today. So I'm here today, and I will be here next week from St. Louis for a couple of days, and then hopefully, I don't know what time my flight gets in on Wednesday, but I intend to do a live on Wednesday as well. So I have some cute ones coming too for those. So if you don't have notifications turned on yet, make sure that you go and sign up for notifications. Again, whenever you comment the keyword, you can get the thing to get notifications so that you know whenever I'm going live. All right. I think we're good over there. I just need to touch up this one spot that's kind of questionable right here. And then we can go in with some yellow. And I want to do one more layer on the welcome part, and I think that that will be good. And then I can show you how I want to layer this hat with that texture pattern, the chalk transfer. And I think this little guy's going to be real cute. Y'all are gonna like him a lot. Okay, so we're good there. Now, let me do one final little dry, and we can put some yellow on his hair. Y'all, it feels so much better to have my hair cut yesterday. So I used my friend that I've known like my whole life. He's really the only one I can trust to cut my hair. I didn't get my hair cut pretty much the whole time that I was in Tennessee, professionally at least. I cut it a couple of times myself. But I love the way he cuts my hair, and he curled it for me yesterday, and oh my gosh, it looked so good. It was perfection. Like, I need him to come and live with me and just do my hair every day, because I can't reproduce that. And normally curls just don't last on my hair. They just don't stay. My hair's real fine and thin, and after a while the curls just fall. But baby, they did not fall yesterday. And I mean, I slept, like I said, I slept all day whenever I got home pretty much, or tried to. And my curls were still perfectly intact. It's pretty amazing. All right, so this is that like darkish yellow. I do want to do a second layer just to be real vibrant on here. But you cannot even tell that he once had blue hair, okay? It's like he got his bleach done, okay? Let me see. I'm just going to do one more layer on this white real quick. Yeah, it really is. Hi, Chelsea, how are you? It is so hard to find a good hairstylist. And my friend has been, I've had him cutting my hair. He's been a hairstylist for like the last 20 years. And like I met him in middle school, y'all, in 5th grade. And he was my best friend for years, all the way through high school. We were besties. And then whenever we graduated, he went to the Visible Changes Hair School. and immediately started working at Visible Changes and got promoted up really fast through Visible Changes. He was like a master stylist or whatever through them. And so I always would go down to see him. And yesterday I called my mom and I told her I'm going down to see Johnny. And she says, like, well, where is his shop at? Because, like, I live far, y'all, from anything. I'm like an hour from my parents' house, or maybe 30, 45 minutes from my parents' house. And to go basically to downtown Houston, it's a solid hour, okay? Well, did you show him the picture, Mom? Because this is not, I don't know how to do my own hair. This is not it, okay? It is definitely not. But anyways, my mom was asking me, she just thought I was nuts that I was driving that far. And I'm like, no, yeah, he's the only one. And now that I'm back in town, I will drive to the literal ends of the earth to go see him. I mean, honestly, whenever I was still living in Tennessee, I was considering like getting an appointment with him and then flying in just for that. Okay, that's how desperately I only trust him to cut my hair. He used to do my like prom hairstyles and homecoming and all those. Every time that we'd have a dance, he would do my hair every time. But anyways, yeah, I mean, that and a good doctor, I will pretty much do whatever. It's a little ridiculous. Okay, so let me move some of the stuff out of the way. Now, here's my thoughts, all right? I've got my little hat. Okay, this is the top layer of his hat. Now, he does have the hat brim that covers this part. That's why I didn't really, I'm okay with it being a little messy down there. Okay, let me see if I can put all of this somewhere so that it's not in the way. All right, now I also have the hat brim. Let me pull that over here too. Okay, so the hat brim goes like that over this, right? Ew, this is gonna be so cute. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the hat brim goes like that. This is what I'm thinking. I pulled out, this is Shimmer Harvest Paste. Okay, where's my transfer? It's here. And then I want to use this pattern. This is one of the textured patterns. This one comes with 4 different patterns on the transfer. It is a D size, so they're nice and big. This is a repeatable pattern too. So if you have something that's larger than this actual transfer is, then you can just lay this back. You can pick it up and lay it back down and it will be repeatable for you, which is super cool. And really, really handy whenever you're trying to do this print on a larger size item that it won't fit. Yeah, I think it turned out really nice. I'm really happy with how my hair was yesterday. Now I need to figure out how to curl it on a regular basis, but your girl just does not have the motivation or energy for all that nonsense, okay? And that's why I need him to just come and live here and just do that for me. I think it's so cute. Yeah. So it's gonna be real cute. All right, now I am fuzzing this. Okay, I put down just a little bit of wax here on both my brim and on the hat itself. Now, if you look at this, you'll see there's a couple places that are gonna be covered, okay? The flower goes here and my little bird goes here, so I'm not gonna worry about the tail of the bird or this upper part of where the flower is, but I definitely need to make sure that the brim of my hat and this bottom part, let me just make sure, of my hat are covered, okay? So I'm going to put this down right there. Now I'm not gonna go all the way down because the brim's gonna cover down here, okay? Not worried about the tail because the bird will cover there, all right? So really just like this, like an L-shaped part, okay? All right, that is Shimmer Harvest. It's gonna look amazing on this blue background. I already know it. I love this color, and paired with blue, it is just absolutely beautiful. So I'm gonna go a little bit over where I know I have to be, okay? Just to be sure that I cover everywhere that needs it, okay? And I'm just spreading my paste really well and then trying to pick it up as I go, so I'm not wasting any or leaving any in the transfer. Just like that, okay? And all the way over here to the edge. And again, I'm going a little bit over where I know I have to have it to be sure, okay, that I've covered everything that I need to. But I pretty much know, I'm even gonna go up a little bit further on this flower, but I know that it's not gonna have to be, there's no pattern that I actually have to have on all those parts, okay? Oh my gosh. This is so perfect for his little hat. Look at that. Oh my gosh. I love it. Hi, Faith. Welcome. All right, so now we're gonna do his hat brim. And I'm thinking that I kind of want to turn this. I wonder if, is the pattern different when you turn it? I don't know that it is. Okay. Well, I am going to turn it anyways, regardless of all of that, just to see. Now, remember, this is a repeatable pattern, okay? And we're going to have to use that today. So I'm just going to set this down right here. And I'm making this, like you can see, okay? I went just a little bit over that edge right there with my cutout, okay? So that it's not like a cut off, okay? And then I'm pressing that down really well. I do have something on my sticky stuff in my transfer, so pick that up and make sure that it's nice and smooth and there's nothing that's gonna get in the way of my paste adhering really nicely to the surface, okay? Now I'm going all the way to that edge and I'm gonna cover this whole thing, and then we're gonna pick it up and move it over just a little bit, and we're gonna do it again, okay? Oh. All right, there's that. I'm a mess. Okay, now the keyword is Scarecrow. You can comment it at any time, regardless if I am live right now currently. You'll see that little red thing up here if I'm live. But even on the replay, I would love for you to comment #replay, and you can still comment the keyword. And you'll get the link and everything just like you would as if I were live, okay? Now, that part's done, so we're gonna have to come over here and add just a little bit more to cover this far side, okay? Because you can see I didn't cover it all. But I'll show you how easy it is to repeat this transfer, or repeat the pattern. I do wanna make sure that it's good and dry before I move on. All right, now I am going to take my transfer and I'm gonna actually turn it a little bit and see. I'm going to lay this back down, okay, and I want to line this up. Oh, I do see that it's not, the pattern is slightly different whenever you turn it, so that's cool. Okay. Now, I might have to go ahead and still use the same side because I want my pattern to be exactly the way it was. And I'm I'm trying to line it up, okay? So I need just a second to figure that out. Surprisingly, this pattern is, there it goes. I got it. It just, you know, took me a second to figure it out. Now, I just moved it down a little bit. Okay, so what I've done is I took my pattern and I just lined it up exactly. Let me see if I can show you this. I lined it up with the little teal part covering the pattern exactly the way it is over here, okay? And that, my friends, is how you're gonna line this up to where it looks like a continuous pattern. There's no break in it. Okay, so if you just make sure that your design is completely dry before you do that, it will help you to be able to line that up. You can just set it right back down and line it up similar to the way that we do the shadowing effect, right? You set it down on top of that design and then you just move it over a little bit. Same thing, except you're not gonna move it over a little bit, all right? So once you pull that up, it is absolute perfection. Let me see if I can, okay. And you can't even tell that it was two pieces, which is really neat. Oh my gosh, that hat is so cute. Oh my God. Okay. All right, y'all, this is too cute for me. All right, now let's pull all of our pieces off of this cardboard. So basically I just use old pieces of cardboard that I get with my shipments. I use a little bit of painter's tape. I put it right on my cardboard and then stick my pieces to it so that I can paint them. And then I use these makeup sponges, okay? And I just let them dry. And then after they're dry, I take them and I just cut off that painted end, and then it's a brand new sponge again. And I can use them like 3 or 4 times. So that's handy. Let me put these, and then I just lay them like on my desk and let them dry. This one is gonna get stuck to that paint. And then I have my little Scarecrow. So here is my backer, okay, for this door hanger. Now you could do, he does not have to be a door hanger, of course, but I'm gonna make him a door hanger. This one is the 10-inch one, okay? On my Etsy, I have multiple sizes available, but I wanted to use my 10-inch today. It's the first one that I cut, and that'll work fine. Oh, my glue gun battery has died, so let me switch that out so that it stays hot. All right, so this is my little guy right here, okay? That's our base. And I do want to make sure this is dry before I start putting all this together and smear it. Y'all, this pattern is so cute. On this blue, oh my gosh, it's perfect for fall too. Okay. Okay, so cute. Now I'm gonna start putting him together, and as you can see, let me show you one more thing. His mouth is scored already, okay? Plus his nose and eyes are scored for you, but his mouth, I don't have a piece for that, okay? So you can take a paint pen if you want and draw over that if you like. You can leave it as is. Not 100% exactly how we're gonna do it today, but we will figure that out together again. Okay, so also this little flower, okay, it's got some spots on the edge that are like cut, kind of, the shape is kind of funny, and it lines up perfectly, okay? So if you struggle to line that up, just keep on turning it until you find that right edge. And what I've done is this, like, these two that are folded over sort of like that are the ones that are funny, and they go, you can see where they go on this cutout on the edge, okay? So Hopefully that's helpful. Oh my gosh, look at him. He's so cute. I actually might do a little bit of an orange color over his nose because it's clashing a little bit with his eyeballs. Oh my gosh. He is just so cute. All right, so let me just add a little bit of an orange. I do have this orange. I don't want to go too orange. That is the one thing that I didn't want to do with them. Let's see. Because I was going to use orange for his nose originally, but then I changed my mind at the last minute and did the red, and then I realized his eyes are red, and it's just a lot of red. So let's add just a tiny bit of orange. I'm just tapping it out to where it's not full coverage, which it would have to be a lot of layers to really be full coverage. But this way it'll be kind of a burnt orange color. Still cute, still very fall in color, but not just like a pumpkin orange. I didn't want, I mean, look how bright this orange is. It is super bright. It's like an electric orange. Energetic orange is what it's called, and it's too much. All right, I'm gonna do maybe 1 or 2 more layers of this orange over top, and I think that'll be just enough of a different color to not be the exact same red that we have there. All right, here we go. All right. Isn't he so cute? I'm so excited about him. I love him. All right. Here we go. Put that over here with my other pile of little paint sponges. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Okay, now we can start putting them all together. I do like to do all of my placement first, just to be sure I have everything I need and it's all in the right place. But he is so, so cute. All right, so I'm gonna just begin at the beginning and do this layer by layer from the top. Okay, so I'll start with the welcome. And I'm just trying to get just a little bit, I'm using Eileen's tacky glue for this part because it's nice and thin. It doesn't really squirt out of the edges like how super glue might. And it gives a really nice hold. So I just used just a little bit, and I'm coming in with that right there. Plus it dries clear. So if you do have any that comes over the edge, then it won't be that big of a deal. All right, so then I'm going to use hot glue for his hat brim. And I want to make sure that it's lined up really well so that my overpaint from his hair doesn't show through down here, okay? And even if you need to, well, I guess, yeah, it needs to just be lined up because it fits perfectly on this hat right here. So you can't even move it down a little bit, all right? And then let's get our bird put on. Again, I'm gonna use tacky glue for the bird's little wing. And I'm glad I used the gray on that to just give it a little bit of a different color for his little wing. And then, again, a bunch of little holes in this. So I'm just going to use this Eileen's glue just a little bit. I'm not trying to squirt out too much of it. And get that glued down in the center. And then I'll use tacky glue on this part too. Okay. And I find I can squirt some out and then like use the tip to spread it. And that works really nicely. And then a little bit extra in the middle. Now, as I'm going to glue this down, I want to be mindful of the placement of those little leaves that are just a little bit different, because this is cut to go just perfectly on there. Okay, it fits perfect. And then as you can see, I do have a little bit of glue overage in there, but it all dries clear, so that's fine. Not a big deal. And then I will use hot glue to get this on here. And again, I just want to make sure that I have my leaves lined up, because that background is also cut to that same kind of funny shape. And that way, all of this goes on his hat perfect, okay? Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Jocelyn. How are you, ladies? Welcome. All right, and then I'm gonna go ahead and get his eyeballs on and his nose. And then we can finish up getting his hat secured and putting a hanger on the back. Now, yours will come with a hanger. I didn't cut one for mine. So I'm just going to fashion a hanger with a piece of jute, but yours will come with one. All right. And then, again, just hot glue back here. And I should have done this one first, but a little bit of tacky glue to hold his strands of hair. Now you could totally take some raffia and add a little bit underneath his hat brim, poking out from underneath his hat, and that would be real cute. Which of course that's not how I did it, but it could definitely be done and it would be real cute. So I hope y'all love him. I'm actually thinking I might want to, let me see if I have this paint pen. I'm thinking about filling or drawing over his mouth, and hopefully I don't regret this choice. But if I do, we'll regret it together, okay? So I'm just going to yeah, I'm happy about it. All right, and then add some little lines on him. Give it a little bit of, I don't know, razzle dazzle. Okay, so I think that just adds a little something. Makes him look finished and like a professional painted him. Okay, so there's that. And then let's see what we need to do to get this hanger installed. I am just going to quickly dry any of these little paint pen doodles. And it dries real fast anyway, but that way I don't smear any of it. And then I just have some of that thicker jute that I love so much. I'm going to cut some off, and then I also have a piece of ribbon. Now, whenever I just use jute, I like to use a piece of ribbon to glue my jute to it. I feel like it helps to just secure that jute a little better on the back side. I don't know if it actually does, but I feel like it does, and it makes it look a little neater so you don't just see a ton of glue back here, you know? So doing that like that, and then press it down. All right. And then I'll trim these little tails, okay? So just like that. Thank you. I'm glad you'll like it. All right, there is my little Scarecrow. I think he is absolute perfection. I hope that you love him. Keyword is Scarecrow if you want to get this. So you can comment that and you'll get a link. Make sure that you check your message requests if you've never messaged with me before so that you get the message. Click the link and fill that thing out, and I will send you an invoice, and you can also make one of these cuties. Okay. Whenever you get that link from me, make sure that you go check out my Etsy, see what all I have on there. I would love if you would give me a follow on Etsy too. It helps me. And then you'll be notified whenever I put new stuff up. Okay? Love you all. Oh no. See, I'm already messing up. Hold on. See if I can add a little more glue back here. Y'all. Okay, here we go. Make sure that you put enough glue to hold it. Isn't he cute? I know. I love him. All right, y'all. I'll see you later, okay? Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you tomorrow night. See ya.